Hello boys and girls, how are you all? I hope you have all had a really good Easter and your first few days back at school have been good as well. Now tonight we are starting a new set of stories in our Friday videos all about Jesus's miracles. And some of you have maybe heard of the word miracles before, some of you maybe haven't, but a miracle is something that happens that can't be explained in a normal way. And the first miracle that we are going to look at is the very first miracle that Jesus ever did. And it was to do with water. So I have a jug of water here, and you can see it's a normal jug of water. And I have a glass. And I want to ask you, what do you think will happen if I pour the water from this jug into a glass? So it seems like a bit of a silly question because I think you probably all already know what would happen. So if I pour the water from the jug into the glass, has anything changed about the look of the water? Does it look like it looked in the glass? Yeah, it looks exactly the same. It's still clear, it's still a liquid. And if I was to taste it, it would taste the same as well because it's still water. All that's happened is that it has moved from one place to another. But in tonight's story, we are going to hear about something different that happened to the water that is in our story.
So our story tonight takes place in a town called Cana in Galilee. And Jesus was in Cana, and while he was there, he went to a wedding. And some of his disciples, some of his friends also went to the wedding. His mother Mary was at the wedding, and there were lots of other guests there as well. And the wedding was a big celebration. All of the people were eating food and they were drinking wine and celebrating. But before the end of the wedding, the wine ran out. So Jesus' mum Mary noticed that the wine had run out, and she went over to tell Jesus that the wine had run out. And then she went to tell the servants who were at the wedding that they should do whatever Jesus asked them to do. So Jesus spotted 6 big stone jars that were at the wedding, and he told the servants to fill these big jars with water. And the servants went and they filled these jars right up to the top, so they were full right up to the brim with water. Then Jesus told one of the servants to take some of the water from the jar and give it to the man who was in charge of this big celebration, who was in charge of this feast. So the servants did this. They went to the jar, they took some of the water out of it, and they gave it to the man who was in charge of this big feast at the celebration. And I am sure you are thinking, if they've taken water from the jar, the man probably just tasted water from his glass. But that's not what happened. The man took a drink from the cup or from the glass, and he tasted wine. And he didn't realise that this was a strange thing to happen because he didn't know what was inside the jar, but the servants knew that they had filled up the jars with water, so it was really strange that all of a sudden the man was tasting wine instead of water. And not only did the man taste wine from his glass, but he tasted really good wine. He said, normally at these celebrations, everyone serves the best wine first and keeps the ordinary wine for later on. But today you have kept the best wine until now. So boys and girls, this was the very first miracle that Jesus ever did. He changed the water into wine. And even though the man who was drinking the wine didn't realise this, the servants all knew that this had happened because they were the ones who filled up the jars with water, and then all of a sudden the man was drinking wine. The servants knew that they hadn't put wine into the jars, so they knew that it had been changed by Jesus. And all of Jesus's friends, his disciples, saw this as well, and they really trusted Jesus because they saw how powerful he was to be able to do this.
So boys and girls, Jesus was able to change the water into wine because he is God's son, and God is so powerful. God can do amazing things. We know that if we tried to change water into anything else, it just would not happen. It just would not work. It would still be water. But God can do amazing things, and when Jesus was on earth, he did some incredible miracles, which you will keep finding out about over the next few weeks in our videos.
Hey! Ho! Nothing's too big, big, big for his power, and nothing's too little, little for his care. Nothing's too big, big, big for his power, and nothing's too really, really for his care. Nothing's too big, big, big for his power, and nothing's too incy, wincy for his care. Nothing's too big, big, big for his power, and nothing's too teeny, weeny for his care. He is God of the big, God of the little, God of the stuff, somewhere in the middle, the King of moving mountains, loves you more than you will ever know. Oh, nothing's too big, big, big for his power, and nothing's too little, little for his care. Nothing's too big, big, big for his power, nothing's too really, really for his care. Nothing's too big, big, big for his power, and nothing's too incy, wincy for his care. Nothing's too big, big, big for his power, and nothing's too teeny, weeny for his care. He is God of the big, God of the little, God of the stuff, somewhere in the middle, the King of moving mountains, loves you more than you will ever know. Oh, nothing's too big, nothing's too small, nothing's too much, he cares for all. Nothing's too big, nothing's too small, nothing's too much, he cares for all. Nothing's too big, nothing's too small, nothing's too much, he cares for all. Nothing's too big, nothing's too small, nothing's too much, he cares for all. He is God of the big, God of the little, God of the stuff, somewhere in the middle, the King of moving mountains, loves you more than you will ever know. Oh, hey, whoa, hey, whoa.
Hi boys and girls, it's brilliant to be back here with you on a Friday night. I hope you've had a super week back at school, and I really hope you enjoyed Emma's story all about Jesus' first miracle. Aren't miracles amazing? They really remind us that although the things seem impossible to us, God can do anything. And each week we're going to look at a new miracle that Jesus did, and I really hope you're going to enjoy it because I love those stories. Tonight I have a verse from the Bible that I would love you to try and learn with me. It's a verse that really reminds me of all the amazing things that God can do. Let's take a look at it.
What is impossible with man is possible with God. Luke chapter 18 verse 27. Will we try that again? Let's say it all together. What is impossible with man is possible with God. Luke chapter 18 verse 27. Do you think you've got it yet? Let's give it one more go before I make it a little bit trickier. After 3. 1, 2, 3. What is impossible with man is possible with God. Luke chapter 18 verse 27. Brilliant, well done. Now I think you're ready for a challenge. I'm going to take a word away each time, so make sure you've got your thinking caps on, because I want you to still be able to say it all, even when all the words aren't on the screen. Let's try that. Okay, we've got a missing word now. I wonder if we can still say it. Let's try it. What is impossible with man is possible with God, of course. Luke chapter 18, verse 27. Great job. I think it's time to take another word away. What is impossible with man is possible with God. Luke chapter 18, verse 27. Good. Are you managing so far? I hope so. Okay, what about this one? Now we have lost 3 words. Have a go at saying it now. Can you get it? Good. What is impossible with man is possible with God. Luke chapter 18, verse 27. Good, well done. Time to take another word away. What about this one? Give it a go. Yeah, what is impossible with man is possible with God. Luke chapter 18, verse 27. Oh, you are getting good at this now. Let's take away another word. Okay, now we have got 5 missing words. Are you up for that challenge? Let's try this one together. What is impossible with man is possible with God. Luke chapter 18, verse 27. Good. This is getting trickier, isn't it? But you know what? I know you're up for the challenge. Let's take away the whole verse. Let's see how good our memories are. After 3, 1, 2, 3. What is impossible with man is possible with God. Luke chapter 18, verse 27. Okay, there's only one thing for it now. Let's get rid of the whole thing, including where you find it in the Bible. What is impossible with man is possible with God. Luke chapter 18, verse 27.
Well done, you have really learnt that memory verse well. Before we go, I have got one more challenge for you. I'm going to say the memory verse, but each time I'm going to put one little mistake in there. And my challenge to you is to see if you can find it. Will we give it a go? Okay. Time 1. What is impossible with woman is possible with God. Luke chapter 18, verse 27. Did you see what I did? Of course, I said woman instead of man. Well spotted. Are you ready for number 2? Let's give it a go. What is impossible with man is possible with God. Matthew chapter 18, verse 27. Of course, I said the wrong book of the Bible. I said Matthew instead of Luke. And the last time, what is possible with man is impossible with God. Luke chapter 18, verse 27. No, of course that's not right. It's the other way round. We know that what is impossible with man is possible with God.